A storm gathered in silence. On June 13, 2021, Michael Usifo Ataga sent a message. His 50th birthday approached, and he wanted to celebrate quietly before traveling to Abuja to meet his wife and 2 children. There were business meetings in Lekki, and his residence in Victoria Garden City was under renovation. He needed somewhere to stay. He reached out to someone he trusted, a 21-year-old University of Lagos student named Chidinma Ojukwu. They had known each other since November 2020, introduced through mutual friends. She described him as generous, supportive, someone who paid her school fees and funded her cosmetics business. He was a married businessman, the CEO of Super TV, living in the exclusive enclave of Banana Island where only the wealthy resided. She was a 300-level mass communication student, young, quiet-looking, living with her father in Yaba after her parents separated. What seemed like a simple arrangement would unravel into something dark. On June 14th, they met at a short-let apartment on 19th Adel Street, off Ulo Road, Lekki Phase 1. Chidinma had secured the place, and Ataga approved it. That evening, they went out together to Ango Villa restaurant, purchased wine, and returned to the apartment. The night unfolded with drinking, eating, and smoking. The following day, June 15th, Ataga made unusual requests. He asked Chidinma to buy marijuana and rohypnol, a powerful sedative. He sent her N15,000 for the purchase, then an additional N25,000 for food. Later that day, he asked for more marijuana, instructing her to pay for it since he couldn't make a bank transfer at the moment. He gave her money for food and juice as well. Chidinma left the apartment to fulfill these errands. What happened during her absence remains unclear. When Chidinma returned to the apartment, she knocked on the door. No answer. She pushed the door open. Blood covered the floor. Ataga lay motionless. His eyes were half open and he had no pulse, she would later testify. She claimed she dropped everything she was holding and rushed to him. Shock paralyzed her thoughts. She wiped blood off herself, changed her clothes, and packed her belongings. Then she fled. She did not call the police. She did not call for help. Fear, she later explained, gripped her completely. Fear that she would be wrongly accused. Behind the closed door of the 3-bedroom flat, Michael Usifo Ataga remained. He was supposed to travel to Abuja on Thursday to celebrate his birthday with his wife. He never made the trip. By Sunday, June 13, concerned friends and family had already begun to worry. Ataga had gone missing. Days passed without contact. His Range Rover was missing. He wasn't answering calls. He wasn't responding to messages. On Thursday, June 17th, someone forced open the apartment door. What they found inside shattered the silence. Ataga's lifeless body lay on the floor, dressed only in boxers, surrounded by a pool of blood. Lagos Police Commissioner Hakeem Odumosu later described the scene as brutal. The autopsy would reveal that Ataga died from multiple knife wounds. 2 deadly stabs had been inflicted on his armpit. Other wounds marked his neck and chest. His laptop and phones were missing. Police investigations moved swiftly. Video evidence and forensic findings linked Chidinma to the apartment. On Wednesday, June 23, 2021, officers arrested her at her father's residence in Yaba, Lagos. She was 21 years old. The following day, Lagos State Police Command paraded her before journalists at the State Command headquarters in Ikeja. What she said during that initial parade would haunt the case for years. In early statements, police claimed Chidinma confessed to stabbing Ataga multiple times. She allegedly described a violent struggle, Ataga becoming aggressive, trying to force himself on her, and she, in self-defense, grabbing a knife from the kitchen cabinet and stabbing him in the neck. She described him hitting her head against the wall, choking her while she was backed against the kitchen cabinet and her reaching for the knife to defend herself. But later, her story changed completely. In October 2021, Chidinma Ojukwu, alongside Adedapo Quadri and her sister Chioma Egbuchu, was formally charged. The charges included murder, conspiracy, theft, and forgery. Chioma was accused of receiving Ataga's iPhone 7. All three pleaded not guilty. The trial began, but it would stretch across years. During a trial within a trial in November 2022, Chidinma claimed the police forced her to confess. She testified that officers tore up her original statement and made her sign a fabricated confession admitting to the murder. She insisted she did not kill Ataga. Her testimony painted a different picture. She had left the apartment to buy food and juice. When she returned and found him dead, panic overtook her. She fled because she feared being blamed. The prosecution presented autopsy reports, toxicology tests, video recordings, and electronic devices recovered from the scene. They argued the evidence proved Chidinma's direct involvement in the killing and the theft of Ataga's belongings. The defense challenged the toxicology report, arguing it did not conclusively prove incapacitation or deliberate killing. They insisted that phones and laptops seized by police contained crucial information that could establish Chidinma's innocence. As the trial progressed, darker details emerged. In November 2022, a police witness, DSP Olusegun Bamidele, revealed to the court that investigators discovered Chidinma was involved in an amorous relationship with her foster father, Ono Ojukwu. Police arrested him alongside Chidinma and a 10-year-old girl on June 24, 2021. He was released the next day but rearrested on July 29th and detained until August 19, 2021. The witness testified that Mr. Ojukwu initially offered to assist with the investigation, but was later found to be concealing vital information. Police also discovered that Chidinma's mother never approved custody of her daughter to Mr. Ojukwu. Authorities concluded he was not being sincere, and that he knew Chidinma allegedly committed the offence she was standing trial for. These revelations added another layer of complexity to an already tangled case. More than 4 years have passed since Michael Usifo Ataga's death. The trial continues. In October 2025, Justice Yetunde Adesanya ordered the police to release certain exhibits, mobile phones, laptops and SIM cards, to the defense for forensic examination. The judge emphasized Chidinma's constitutional right to a fair trial. In November 2025, during cross-examination, Chidinma expressed regret. When the prosecutor asked if she regretted Ataga's death, she replied, "I regret that he died." But she maintained she was not the last person to see him alive and denied leaving the apartment with his gadgets. The prosecution presented evidence of financial transactions that occurred days after Ataga's death. The defense objected, arguing the prosecution was ambushing the defendant with undisclosed documents. The judge admitted the documents as irrelevant evidence. Chidinma testified that the transactions took place days after she had left the apartment. The apartment on Adale Street is quiet now. No CCTV cameras captured what happened inside. It was not a hotel with security protocols and visitor logs, just a residential block of flats, a short-let space where privacy was guaranteed. Michael Usifo Ataga, a 50-year-old businessman, father and husband, never made it to Abuja. His wife Brenda and their 2 children waited for him. He was the son of a professor, a man who attended the University of Benin from 1988 to 1995. He lived in Banana Island, a place where only the wealthy reside. Chidinma Ojukwu, once a shy-looking 21-year-old mass communication student, now sits in the defendant's box. Years have passed and the case drags on. In 2022, while awaiting trial in Kirikiri prison, She was reportedly crowned Miss Cell 2022. The prosecution insists she is guilty. The defense insists she is not. The court weighs evidence, testimonies, and contradictions. But some questions have no answers yet. What really happened in that apartment between June 14th and June 15th, 2021? Why did Ataga request marijuana and Rohypnol? What condition was he in when Chidinma left to run errands? Did someone else enter the apartment while she was gone? Why did she flee instead of calling for help? What do the missing phones and laptops contain? The trial continues, witnesses testify, exhibits are examined, the judge listens, the families wait. But Michael Usifo Ataga remains silent, and the apartment on Adale Street offers no testimony. Justice, when it comes, will speak. But the questions may never fully rest.